Well, happy Friday, gang. Hope you're all well and enjoying nature. It's lashing down, but there we are. That's what it is. I just want to do a video today now on the back of what I personally thought when my wife was flying. I'm about a 2 to 3 year period, maybe a bit longer, of an extensive protocol that we had during her 12-year battle with multiple cancers. And I just remember that period where she was just absolutely on her A game. 20-mile hikes with a smile on her face, gym work flying, looking $1 million, just glowing, radiant, and a bit of a medical mystery at that time. Even I was looking on thinking, God, she just seemed to be nailing it down. And scans were always, they were just confusing to how she looked, to how the scan went. And we probably, where we went wrong probably is we thought we were off track a little bit and we adjusted too aggressively the other way. And again, the fear is usually the weapon of choice to get you to change your protocol. I will give you that as a tip. But let me just open up with, before I give you the protocol, is, as I always say, this is a complex disease. Anything I say is not meant to pull you off track from where you are currently with your medical, with your medical structure. And there is no roadmap to this disease. You have to work stuff out yourself. You have to work what you're feeling deep down is working, and it's a collective effort between the patient and the surrounding party. And it's a real complex disease. But sometimes you land on things and you just think, God, I remember that spell. It was yesterday. And what we were doing at that time is my wife would get up in the morning and she'd have a liver shot every single day on an empty stomach. And that liver shot would consist of half a lemon, a tablespoon of olive oil, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, a pinch of ginger, a pinch of turmeric, a pinch of Celtic sea salt, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. And she would down that first thing in the morning as soon as she woke up, washed down with a glass of water with lemon in it. And again, I used to get all this ready for her. And then within an hour, she'd have a couple of, usually about a litre, maybe a litre to 2 litres of a juice, which will be carrots, apple, celery, and ginger, and lime sometimes, lime or lemon. And she would have about a litre or 2 of that, about half hour, an hour later. And that would be the start of her day getting up, So a lot of that came from some of that came from the Chris Beats cancer story. The liver shot, Barbara O'Neill is a big fan of that. And so we just pinched these ideas off these people that we really respect in the alternative therapy world, And then she'd usually have, I get the blanket ready, she'd usually have 45 minutes in the infrared sauna blanket. Fantastic for detoxification, the infrared sauna blanket, relaxing the body, detoxification, which is what it's all about really. That's what the liver shot is about getting the toxins out of the liver. And she'd have 45 minutes in there, but she'd obviously do a bit of breath work, a bit of mindfulness, that would tie in the same time, And then usually we have a Lumi tub at the back of cold dip. She'd have a couple of dips in the tub. If we weren't going into a cold and hot therapy place on that day, if we were, then we wouldn't do the infrared sauna blanket and the tub. We would just do the cold and hot therapy, because the sauna blanket comes from the same family as the sauna, obviously similar benefits. And then the daytime would usually be nature or gym, or a bit of both, so you're getting into nature, bit of walking, bit of grounding, bit of connecting with Mother Earth, and a bit of gym work, that she was doing what she could when she could, she was an amazing human being, the resilience on her. Sometimes when she was training, I'd be looking at her thinking, she's just had treatment, and she'd be training. She was just a truly amazing human being. That would be in the day then, and then after that in the evening, we'd usually put her in a foot spa with a tablespoon of Epsom salts and a tablespoon of Himalayan sea salt and a teaspoon of bicarb soda. That would go in the foot spa, and we'd put it into the foot spa, and she'd have a nice chill there while we were winding down the evening. And then she'd have a gram per day of Rick Simpson oil on a 4-to-1 ratio, give or take. And 1 THC and 4 on CBD, CBN, CBGs, and all the rest of them. So that was, she'd have a gram of that with a couple of drops. So the reason for the suppositories is she wouldn't get the high, and a couple of drops just to really get that going through the liver and help her sleep a bit more. And that was a daily structure, and she was just flying. I mean, absolutely flying. Every time we went down for a scan, they didn't, they'd look up and didn't know what they were looking at. They'd obviously try and offer her this and offer her that, as they do. But we would just sort of turn it down and move on. And we went on for years like this, and she was just absolutely I used to look on with complete bamboozlement, And then she had a few things that she was doing weekly or bi-weekly and monthly as well. Like she did oxygen therapy once or twice a week. She swore by that, and she was doing reflexology when she could. She was having a massage maybe once fortnightly. So she was adding all these things. She was into crystals. So she was adding all these things in her, and she had her faith as well. She was someone who found faith before I did. So these were what was working. That, and I'm going to write this in the thread, guys. So don't worry about forgetting about it. It'll all be written down. Now, I don't know whether, if you're someone who's battling cancer, I don't know whether this will or will not help you. Look into all of it. Have a look. Most of that, 99% of that comes with zero side effects, if not every part of it, to be honest with you. So if it comes with zero side effects and the cost is right and it fits into your balance and your budget, why not? Don't let a medical professional tell you it might affect the treatment that you're doing elsewhere without you understanding if it does or doesn't, okay? Because most of this is what's found in nature. So I'm sorry, I'm always going to champion nature, as we all should. And if you're someone who's not been diagnosed with cancer, like everything my wife was doing, I was doing, prevention is always going to be better than cure, 1,000,000%. So if the likes of us who are extremely lucky not to be having been diagnosed with anything at the moment, we need to be doubling down on everything, a cancer person is doing to try and for combat their disease. What if you haven't been diagnosed? Why the hell you are not doubling down on this stuff? I'll never know, because 1 in 2 are getting cancer, guys. So it's time to come to the party. It is really time. So I hope this video helps. Again, this was something that was working for my wife. I don't know whether it will or will work for you, but she was really getting a lot of success on that protocol. And I do remember that protocol like it was yesterday. As I said, we drifted off the back of being scared a little bit when my wife found it in her liver. In hindsight, we should have stuck on our path. That's what I believe anyway. Who knows where we would have ended up, but hindsight's a wonderful thing, and I can only now speak from the learning curve that we got from that experience. I hope this video helps. I hope it lands right. It's not meant to, as I said, pull you off your track or pull you from where you are. It's just meant to land the right way to help you either get over cancer or a preventative measure. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and I'll catch up soon.